Friends, brothers, and sisters in the struggle for human dignity and freedom, I am here to represent the struggle that has gone on for 300 or more years, a struggle to be recognized as citizens in a country in which we were born. I have had about 40 or 50 years of struggle, ever since a little boy on the streets of Norfolk called me a nigger.
Harriet Tubman was born Harriet Ross around 1820. Her exact birthday isn't known because, like many slaves, her date of birth was never recorded. She lived with her parents and 10 brothers and sisters on a plantation on the eastern shore of Maryland. When Harriet was 5 years old, she was hired out as a domestic servant. She slept on the kitchen floor, poking her feet under the fireplace ashes when the nights grew cold. For meals, she shared table scraps with her master's dogs.
1892, Memphis, Tennessee. 28-year-old Mary Church Terrell learned that her childhood friend had been killed by a lynch mob because his business was seen as competition by local whites.
The lynching of Thomas Moss is this turning point for Mary Church Terrell. His death is not just a symbol of racial violence, but also the ways that Black business owners were not shielded from the terrorizing of African Americans.
Because the Negro people aren't writing them. Because one woman, a seamstress, tired after a hard day's work, got fed up with her 40 years of living under Jim Crow. Because one woman said, "I have had enough." And suddenly, just like that, 50,000 voices answered, "Amen, sister, enough for us too." For refusing to give up her seat to a white man, she was arrested and fined. And the Negro people of Montgomery have refused to ride the buses ever since. Without fear.
There's one thing I can say, that when the buses were finally put out of business and the bus drivers were out of work, they were employed as policemen. So they had a continuation of income. And many of those policemen would give just hundreds and hundreds of tickets every day to people who were not violating any traffic laws, but they were doing it to help to raise the salaries that they had lost.
We didn't expect any trouble because it had been thoroughly thrashed out in court, and that we felt that the community had been pretty much prepared for this day and that we didn't expect any trouble. Suddenly all the pressure and the children facing the mob and going in that day, all that came back in great force, and the realization that I held the lives of 9 children in my hand.
I'm sorry, our management does not allow us to serve niggers in here.
That was so demeaning and so humiliating.
She was very angry. She was disturbed by this form of racism that she met in Nashville, which she had not seen in Chicago.
I mean, that's why when someone asks me about violence, I just find it incredible. Because what it means is that the person who's asking that question has absolutely no idea what Black people have gone through, what Black people have experienced in this country since the time the first Black person was kidnapped from the shores of Africa.
Upside down, and you holler, and you sing, and you blow your whistles, and you shake your shit, and you do your damn thing. Don't worry about nobody. If you can't sing, don't worry. It's a people's chorus. It ain't the rave. What if dig it?
And to the woman most responsible for my presence here today, my mother, Shamala Gopalan Harris, who is always in our hearts. When she came here from India at the age of 19, She maybe didn't quite imagine this moment, but she believed so deeply in an America where a moment like this is possible. And so I am thinking about her and about the generations of women, Black women, Asian, white, Latina, Native American women who throughout our nation's history